The USS Nautilus, SS-168, a Narwhal-class submarine of the United States Navy, played a crucial role during World War II. It was an embodiment of naval ingenuity and tactical evolution, marking significant developments in submarine warfare. The importance of the USS Nautilus in World War II extends beyond its individual missions to the broader strategic implications it had on the Pacific theater. Its contributions were pivotal in shaping the outcomes of key battles, undermining Japanese supply lines, and proving the effectiveness of submarines as versatile tools of war. Early role in World War II. When the United States entered World War II following the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, the USS Nautilus was already a seasoned vessel. Commissioned in 1930, it was one of the older submarines in the fleet by the time the war started. However, its age did not diminish its relevance. Instead, it adapted to the new demands of warfare with remarkable resilience. At the outset of the war, the Nautilus, like many other American submarines, was tasked with reconnaissance and offensive operations in the vast expanses of the Pacific. The Japanese Empire had rapidly expanded across Southeast Asia and the Western Pacific, necessitating an aggressive response from the United States. The Nautilus was deployed to gather intelligence, track enemy movements, and, when possible, disrupt Japanese operations. The Battle of Midway. One of the most significant contributions of the USS Nautilus was its involvement in the Battle of Midway, a turning point in the Pacific War. The battle took place in June 1942 and was a crucial victory for the United States. The Nautilus played a critical role in this success, demonstrating the strategic value of submarines in fleet engagements. During the Battle of Midway, the USS Nautilus was assigned to patrol the waters near Midway Atoll, with the mission of locating and attacking the Japanese fleet. Despite initial difficulties, including mechanical issues and challenges in locating the enemy, the Nautilus proved its worth in a decisive moment. On June 4, 1942, the Nautilus spotted the Japanese carrier force and launched several torpedo attacks. Although these attacks did not directly sink any Japanese vessels, they played a crucial role in the overall battle. The presence of the Nautilus distracted and delayed the Japanese fleet, forcing them to alter their course and actions. More importantly, the Nautilus torpedo attacks contributed to the chaotic conditions that led to the success of the American dive bombers, who later in the day delivered crippling blows to the Japanese carriers Akagi, Kaga, and Soryu. The Nautilus' persistence and determination under fire were emblematic of the U.S. Navy's tenacity. The submarine's contribution to the Battle of Midway underscored the evolving role of submarines, not just as lone hunters, but as integral components of larger naval strategies. The battle marked the beginning of the end for Japanese naval dominance in the Pacific, and the Nautilus was a part of that pivotal victory. Guerrilla warfare at sea. Beyond large-scale engagements, the USS Nautilus was also instrumental in the campaign of guerrilla warfare at sea. Submarines like the Nautilus were well suited to this form of warfare, characterized by hit-and-run tactics, stealth, and the targeting of enemy supply lines. As the war progressed, the Nautilus conducted numerous patrols aimed at disrupting Japanese logistics, which were vital to their operations across the vast distances of the Pacific. The Nautilus missions included laying mines in enemy waters, attacking merchant ships, and landing special forces behind enemy lines. These operations were crucial in the broader strategy of island hopping, where Allied forces sought to bypass heavily fortified Japanese positions by capturing strategically important islands and cutting off Japanese forces from resupply and reinforcement. One particularly notable operation was the landing of Marine raiders on Makin Island in August 1942. The Nautilus, along with its sister submarine USS Argonaut, carried out this daring mission. The Marine raiders conducted a surprise raid on the Japanese garrison, causing significant damage and sowing confusion among the enemy. Although the raid was a tactical success with some strategic benefits, it also highlighted the limitations and risks of submarine-based special operations. The Nautilus' involvement in this mission demonstrated the versatility of submarines and their ability to support unconventional warfare efforts. Psychological impact and strategic disruption. The USS Nautilus, like other American submarines, played a crucial psychological role in the Pacific theater. The Japanese, who had not anticipated the scale and effectiveness of American submarine operations, were increasingly unnerved by the presence of submarines like the Nautilus in their waters. The constant threat of submarine attacks forced the Japanese to allocate significant resources to anti-submarine warfare, including the use of escorts, patrols, and air reconnaissance, which could have been used elsewhere. This diversion of Japanese resources was a significant strategic victory for the Allies. By tying down Japanese forces and complicating their logistics, the Nautilus and other submarines contributed to the weakening of the Japanese war effort. The fear of submarine attacks also affected Japanese morale, both among the military and the civilian population, as vital supplies became increasingly scarce. The Nautilus' success in targeting Japanese shipping was part of a broader campaign that had devastating effects on Japan's economy. By the end of the war, American submarines had sunk a substantial portion of the Japanese merchant fleet, leading to critical shortages of fuel, food, and raw materials in Japan. The cumulative effect of these disruptions was to cripple Japan's ability to sustain its war effort, both at home and abroad. Technological adaptation and tactical evolution. Throughout the war, the USS Nautilus demonstrated an ability to adapt to new challenges and technologies. As the war progressed, the submarine received numerous upgrades and modifications to improve its combat effectiveness. These included enhancements to its sonar, radar, and torpedo systems, as well as improvements to its engines and hull for greater speed and endurance. The crew of the Nautilus also evolved tactically, learning from each mission and adjusting their strategies to maximize the submarine's strengths. Early in the war, American submarines suffered from various technical issues, including unreliable torpedoes and inadequate communication systems. However, through perseverance and innovation, the Nautilus and its crew overcame these obstacles, contributing to the overall improvement of submarine warfare tactics. The Nautilus was involved in several pioneering operations that tested the limits of submarine capabilities. For example, it participated in reconnaissance missions that provided crucial intelligence for the planning of amphibious assaults. The submarine's ability to operate close to enemy shores, gather information, and then strike with precision made it an invaluable asset in the Pacific theater. End of the war and legacy. As World War II drew to a close, the USS Nautilus had accumulated an impressive record of service. It had participated in numerous patrols, engaged enemy forces, and contributed to several key battles. Its actions had not only inflicted direct damage on the Japanese war machine, but also helped to shape the broader strategy of the Pacific War. The Nautilus was decommissioned in 1945, following the end of the war, and was eventually scrapped in 1946. However, its legacy lived on. The lessons learned from the Nautilus service were applied to the design and operation of future submarines, influencing the development of the post-war American submarine fleet. The Nautilus' role in World War II highlighted the importance of submarines as multidimensional tools of war. It demonstrated that submarines could be more than just stealthy predators of the sea, they could also serve as platforms for special operations, intelligence gathering, and strategic disruption. The success of the USS Nautilus and other American submarines was a key factor in the Allied victory in the Pacific, contributing to the eventual defeat of the Japanese Empire. In retrospect, the USS Nautilus was more than just a submarine. It was a symbol of American resilience and innovation during one of the most challenging periods in history. Its service during World War II helped to redefine the role of submarines in naval warfare and left a lasting legacy that continues to influence naval strategy and tactics to this day.